Let's get the advertisement stuff out of the way. Good evening, all, and welcome to a lovely little Saturday. Saturday doesn't have an I in it. Saturday. We're just gonna be relaxing and doing some art today. Let's have some fun. Starting up now. Bit late due to tech issues. And welcome in, Nick. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. Apologies that I'm a wee bit late. Tech issues are fun. But how are things on your side? So let's have some fun. All right, hand's gonna need you to work for a little bit here. Here. No, that should be at a relatively good volume for everybody. It'll blow my ears out, but that's honestly fine. Then we don't double up here. Then we'll toss stuff in Dewey's server, since that's at least an art-based server. What's Zoo doing? Oh, they're watching anime together. Okay. Good on you, Zoo Crew. Alrighty. Ooh. Try and make sure we don't sit in a shrimp position while we're doing all this. But why don't we get started here? And good timing as the song changes. I'm down for that. Let's see here. How big of a pen are we dealing with right now? Probably a little too small. Oof. This is just going to be liquid, isn't it? Oh, this is just going to be a straight up liquid. Okay. I'm going to have to get used to that then. I'm trying out some slightly newer settings today, so we'll kind of have to see how it goes. Hey, with Riz. Welcome in, Holger. Hopefully the evening's running well for you so far. We're just getting started up, but how are things on your side so far? And welcome on into the freezer. Hopefully your weekend is going all right so far. Go. And how did I do this part? Doing well, just gonna answer a homework question and then draw some more. Okay, that's not too bad. Also, 1 second, Spotify's being a bit silly. There we go. Had it set up. Handy little tip for anyone who's wanting to use Spotify as their music player on stream, but it does kind of create a slight problem when it's required to have the window open for it to actually capture itself. So if you minimize it, it just kind of vanishes. Yeah, just to explain what we're doing at the very least. Since the meme does tend to go around a healthy amount, that it is just perpetually Solace's birthday, figured I should probably get started on actually drawing the birthday doll for Solace for when his birthday actually comes about. This way I won't have to worry about rushing it at all, and we can just enjoy the process instead of flailing about like a wacky armed inflatable tube man, since I'm sure that we'd like to just enjoy our art instead of rushing it to get it done. Also, I noticed the TV version of Twitch has a bit more delay than usual. Hmm. I think the TV version does have a bit more of a delay, but that's just kind of a console curse. The console version of Twitch is kind of just weird in that regard, so it becomes a bit of an issue when you're dealing with certain aspects of it. And Jude, can you help me out with some liquid nitro? Don't ask me why I need it though. Yeah, I can provide a little bit of extra liquid nitrogen for you, Nick. In the freezer, you'll just kind of notice a back door there. It's got a lock on it, but the password is just kind of 420 at the moment, so you can just go ahead and open it up. And welcome in, Solace. Hopefully the evening's going all right for you so far, buddy. I'm sure that you're relatively tired trying to keep up with all the nonsense happening in your life right now, but hopefully you can kind of just sit back and relax while you just bask in the fact that you have heat going during this nasty-ass weather. The update made it a bit better for browsing, but now it's just playing is a bit worse. Oh, that's always the way when a system just decides to update itself, isn't it? They fix one thing, but then break another thing right after it, which is never great. Don't like that curve. Um, Here, or you do that. Far too high for your hair. Yes, joined a Jude stream to chill. Cars revving in the distance. That sounds about right, to be completely honest with you. It is a Saturday after all. It's the time where people just kind of need to sit down and try and prove their superiority with their ungloriously gathered technology, which does not necessarily work as well, but is a relatively good sign that they kind of need a new muffler, unfortunately. 420 didn't work. You sure it isn't 6969 or boobs? Hmm. I swear I set it to the 3-digit code not too long ago. Hmm. Oh, sorry, I got it wrong. It's actually 042, not 420. That's my mistake. I always get those two confused a lot, since both seem to be relatively good answers to the universe. Doot. And for some reason it feels like Sunday even though it's Saturday. Yeah, that kind of is just what happens, unfortunately, isn't it? You're kind of just raring to go to get everything done, and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, nope, we got an extra day to worry about. That ain't Gucci. All right, sounds good, Nick. Probably should write that password down somewhere, just so I don't forget again. It's always a little troublesome when we do. That's a bit better. Let's see here. Then that part realistically should go above, so there we go. And just to explain what is going on, in case it's not super obvious what I'm doing, we do kind of meme around a good bit when it comes down to Solace and the fact that he's growing older every single day. But I figured that I should probably take a slight bit more initiative because I've wanted to work on this doll for a good bit. and then I just kind of keep forgetting to do that. So that's what we're going to end up doing today because it's been a little bit too long and I don't want to forget before the oncoming of your birthday's tomorrow, right, Solace? I gotta make sure to write this down. I'm obviously kidding. I know it's like in May or March. It's in one of the M months, so I do have a bit of time. Dude, my memory is just bad because I have not committed everything to memory just yet. Thank you for the slipper, Solace. It's actually helpful considering how cold it is right now. Now, what did I do with this? That's a double swish, dude. Hold on. Quick editing. Yeah. His birthday is in a microwave. I mean, technically speaking, that's not entirely wrong considering what time of year it's available. Let's see here. But Solace's doll is going to be the slight experimentation this time around, if only because of the fact that, no, I've made the screen canvas a bit bigger and I've made the DPI rating a little bit bigger. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. Should be fine, but I am noticing the lines are just a lot smoother already, which should at least help out a bit. But Solace's design, I think, is going to be the more complicated doll that we've done so far. At least out of the ones that we've finished, at least. Because Solace's gear is obviously meant for a slightly richer professor-esque character, so he's got a lot more behind him than you might originally think. Oh, you got 10k points. Very nice. Oh, I'm seeing my lines now. Jude, you're a silly butt. You had this all set up already and you're just ignoring it. I am also keeping the reference up for this, even though we won't need colors for a while. But I did kind of miss these sashes, which I'm not sure how I forgot those in the sketch. Also kind of missed the gold trim along the bottom of the coat. So I'm going to have to kind of sneak those in while I'm doing the lining. But we may just trim out at least the sashes. Oh, you good, CSP? There we go. Next time, I shall give you a challenging prompt. Not today, though. That is very much appreciated, Holger. Good. We'll probably be working on the Solace doll for at least a few of these streams, so you have plenty of time to think up your idea in case you feel like changing it up a bit. And then I'll have plenty of time actually making sure all of these lines are a little bit cleaner. Since I know doing this method can make them a little bit blocky, because I don't think my hands are good enough yet to just draw the lines naturally. But this just kind of helps for now. Although I guess the sketching lately has at least proved that I've gotten a little bit better at least drawing the lines. Still just not super confident in it yet, though. Here. It's going to be, of course, Holger would suggest that kind of thing. Well, I'll be curious as to what you end up coming up with, Holger, just because the options are always there. And I give zero guarantee as to the ability of my skill in doing it, so fair warning in advance. Also, Solace, you don't have earrings or anything, right? Do. Then we'll get here. And we are on the right layer at least, so that's good. Get those big ass doll ears covering up a bit of our process. Here. There we go. I just want to make a not too comfy option, but not impossible. I got a million things saved in my library, and it should be straightforward. Well, you're definitely selling it pretty well so far, Holger. You have me a wee bit worried. But if it is something that's going to require a reference, obviously that's going to be required. Because unfortunately, I'm just a robot. I'm not an all-knowing robot. Unfortunately, Google did not make this body and embed their search engine in here. Otherwise, I would be able to have so many more things open to my fingertips. Oops. And then we get to have some fun with a bit of a funkier ponytail today, because Solace has got a bottom tail. There we go. You need it, I've got it. I got so much you wouldn't even believe. Sounds like a pretty standard sales pitch so far, Holger. So either good job and or be careful in case anyone tries to get ahead of you in that department. I believe there are a few people who have enough points now for some sketches too, but I don't think they have plans on taking that just yet. There we go. And then this will just be yay. I'm not sure if we can get away with a little swirly mouth just yet. That's going to take a very specific character to actually get that going. Let's see here. Actually, I should start this up here where I know it's going to end up being flat. Just in case I don't want to shoehorn myself into screwing with the round edge here. bit too high. And there. Hmm. That's okay. We just gotta screw with this edge a bit. Just so that way it's not super blocky. And like that. Okay. And I believe there are some similarities in the way we approach references and the way we create a base. The shift is going to be a bit more towards my side, which is the challenge. Well, I guess we're going to have to see, because I unfortunately cannot read your mind, so I don't want to make the assumption that I'm going to understand what's going on. Then about here, just that way the eyes are the same shape. Merge that down. I also haven't really had anyone who's had enough forehead to justify drawing eyebrows on the dolls. So far, I kind of just like it without the eyebrows, just because, realistically speaking, oh, I've gone select tool, so I can't see anything. We would have something that would be akin to like, oops. Actually, Solace's is a little bit more blocky, so it would kind of be like straight line, kind of like that. Fumos don't have them. Also true, yeah. And so far, at least, the style has been compared to the Fumos, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing just yet. But we'll kind of have to see as we go along. Probably zoom in. We're kind of getting into fine detail territory. Because now we got to worry about your shoulder pads. Because clearly Saul Zerwin's a football player and needs to make sure that his shoulders are just jutting out at the first sign of pain. I mean, I like the Fumos way more than the Funko Pops. I have a Marissa. That's fair. Yeah, the Funko Pops are not exactly my style. I tend to just look at them and not care about any of them. And so far, I have gotten a singular Fumo. And, well, correction, I've bought one Fumo and then, or I've bought one Funko Pop and one was given to me. Which the one that was given to me was one of Marvin the Martian, if anyone remembers their older Looney Tunes stuff at all. So that was a neat gift. The only one that I've ended up purchasing so far has been a Roadhog one. So a Funko that doesn't show its eyes normally. So it just looks like a very chibi Roadhog. Should probably tell you why I actually ended up buying that one compared to like any other Funko Pop. And to specify Roadhog from Overwatch. Well, I went down to about here. So I guess we're going to freehand this part to match up a bit better. As you're slunched over, but your shoulder has not fallen like the Great Wall of China in the future. I also really don't know what music I want to listen to tonight while I'm doing this. I'm not sure if anything's really gonna give me the right vibe for Solace, but here, a little bit more here. And I don't know if it technically would, because it would just kind of come over top here, and then kind of crest off behind this. Oops. There we go. Probably should just get rid of that and redo this little bit. Then you get to come in right there. And then you get to come in there. Oops. Much better. And a Solace Nendroid, I feel, would make for a relatively good Nendo, to be honest with you. Solace has a little less detail than a Genshin character, I feel. So it would fit relatively well within the Nendo design philosophies. Oh, so that's what that is. Okay, that makes more sense. Guess I should probably do this to be a little bit closer to form then. There we go. If I had one, I need to set with a shocked face or a salad on fire prop. I mean, the shocked face is available on a lot of Nendroids, so that part probably wouldn't be super hard. The salad prop would at least need to be unique to you, though. Follow your lines, Jude. And about to here, I want to say. Then there will be the actual scarf portion, which will just go to there. And then go to about here, thanks to perspective. A little bit too vertical. There. And I am on the right layer. We don't got to worry about that this time. Now then, detailed Solace added to the list. Well, you can at least find Solace's reference sheet in his Discord, because unlike Jason, Solace makes that readily available and doesn't hide his appearance from the public. As people already realize that Solace is a cat and he doesn't need to hide himself from the general public. And nope. Here. Then to about here. This is just going to be part of the vest. Then we do this. I do kind of half wonder if I should do these dolls for like super large streamers. I'm not sure if that would be potentially phishing or not, but an idea at least. There we go. Connect that up. That part's fine. This part is going to be inside, so we gotta make sure it actually looks like that. Then after the JoJo's, I should definitely practice and not just plain other pieces. Got to mess around with colors more, and also my sketching has the Alice sheet downloaded. Yeah, I should definitely check the server. Yeah, I mean, it tends to help at the end of the day. Some folks do kind of keep stuff readily available, which helps out a little bit when you're trying to do various bits of farts or anything like those. Yeah, get a nice little ascot looking thing going for him. I am also obviously omitting the collar here. There's only going to be so much I can fit on a neck when the neck barely exists on a Fumo to begin with. But the visual of this bit makes the most sense in my head, at least. Not sure if you can even hear me while I was saying that, to be honest with you. But I like this part of it more, and this is the easiest part to fit in with the logistics of a puppet neck, so that's the part we're going to include. Now let's see here. This part will need to come down as being the gold gold trim that is upon the vest at least. And then this goes over your leg to about here, and then the secondary line will come in here. Because the trim should be fairly noticeable here. Here. Then we go to here. Now I just gotta do the buttons. What would be the easiest way to do the buttons? Clips. Let's see here. And then one more about here-ish. Yeah, it's not too bad. I can probably move this one a little closer though. Like here-ish. And then this one, we can move to there. Can't quite get 3 buttons on Solace's shirt, but I think 2 is enough. Let's see here. I'm not on my pencil, so I can't see the cursor. We go to here. And then, yeah, to about there. Here. Try to keep these trims even because it is even on his normal vest. There we go. Now, what do we want to do with those little tassels of yours on your coat? That's something I half avoided before, but I think I need to do them now if we're going to actually get them in. Let's see here. They generally line up with this entire structure, so then to here, and then it'll come down here and just kind of even out to that line to appear like it is being folded to the side. Which then includes a little section right here. And then a Primo gem on there as well. Okay. All right, Burb, gonna put the book away and set up the drawn stuffs. All right, sounds good, Holger. Hopefully cleanup's not too rough on you. I'm gonna simplify this star a little, I think. And I'm not sure if Solace wants to advertise super hard that he's gambling in Genshin Impact again, but here, oh, here, 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 and here. They're actually a lot thicker than that now I'm looking at it. Which would help out tremendously in this case. So, about here-ish, I want to say. And then we can do something like that. There we go. And then that should cover us for when we need to do this line here for the bottom blue trim of the overcoat. Because we'll have to do a line like that, which will work relatively okay for this. And then that'll just go soaring down underneath the arm, which will then basically come back out around there-ish. And then it'll just kind of get to lay on the floor with everything else. So it'll be a wee bit smaller, but that's fine. And then this part comes out a little bit more for the gold trim. Gotta say, Solace, your outfit is very expensive because you got a lot of this really fancy-ass trim on it. I really hope that actual school is teaching or paying you enough so that you can actually afford this as part of your uniform. Although I guess it isn't a fantasy world, so we can probably expect teachers to be paid a reasonable amount. A bit too thick. There. Probably just free draw this. The lines are not going to work very well for a circle, unfortunately. There we go. And it should just be a tassel, right? Yeah, just a regular old tassel. Okay. So, drawing out the tassel, at least, would be something along these lines. Nope. Great idea. Just gotta do it a little better. Okay. Nope, needs to be wider. Wider and then in. Actually be a tassel. Okay. Well, Solace's birthday gift. It's not your birthday yet, Solace. I just want to make sure I'm ahead of the curve just to be safe. But welcome in, Nano. Hopefully the evening's going all right for you so far. Yep, currently we are working on Solace's birthday gift. It's definitely still a fair bit off, but I kind of want to just make sure I'm ahead and actually get it done while not rushing it while I'm doing it. But how are things on your side so far, Nano? Is life treating you all right? Is the animation not completely kicking your ass? There we go. Homework is not treating me right now. Ugh, okay. A real early gift. I mean, yes and no. I kind of wanted to get these done for a hand. Well, I want to get a handful of these done, to be honest, because there's a few people I would like to actually do these dolls for, but I kind of just keep getting lost in what I'm doing, so I kind of just forget to work on them. But since everyone likes wishing Solace a happy birthday relatively conveniently, that's a good reminder for me that I know I need to get this done before it actually pops up. Oops. I think these inner lines here are also going to be a little bit closer to their colors. There. Makes sense. All right, time to render. Sounds good, Holger. Best of luck. Hopefully it's not too rough of a process on you. About there and here. Don't know if the tassel on that side is going to be the most visible, but we'll figure it out. Really? Okay. Little too close. Do, do, do. That's all right. There. Okay, yeah, that works. And then just get you going now, just so that way we can avoid worrying about that. Well, actually, I don't need to stop that because that is just trim. It'd also make it actually link up a bit better with the shoulder pads. They do jut out a little bit too far with my original lines, so need to make them a wee bit fatter. The yellow light kind of reminds me of my old art. Oh, yeah. Admittedly, my lighting isn't like perfect, so when I'm taking just physical pictures of things, there's usually a decent yellow light, at least in like the middle of the night. And then about here-ish, I want to say. There we go. I just love the giant puffy shoulder guards on this. Salis, your outfit is fun. I used to do that all the time before I got my 10 tablet. I'm kind of in a realm still where I need to like physically sketch some stuff out if I want to get super fine details in there. If only because of the fact that it gets a wee bit annoying trying to get some details into a piece in digital for me still. I would love to just be able to go for it and draw, but skill is not there yet. Then this part kind of connects back to here. Then okay. I've changed my light bulb and a new one turned out to be that nice yellow light. My eyes are always feeling better. That is kind of the benefit when it comes to some of the newer lights, isn't it? Some of them are just getting to be a little bit too white, and that becomes a wee bit of a problem, unfortunately. Especially for folks who are actually sensitive to light, so that's even bigger of a problem. There. Then we thin that line out. But at this point, I should probably just get the arm done and out of the way, as well as just this coat, because we got to worry about a bit of trim on this collar, as well as just a gold line that is also in here. Isn't really going to be the thickest line on this coat, but it'll still be noticeable in doll form at least. There. Would make for a very good doll if we weren't noticing some of the minor details within his coat after all. Yep. Then we just gotta do the same over here. So about here. And then follow the same line here, but just make it small. There we go. That's not too shabby, I want to say. We're also going to have some fun with Solace's just because I do appreciate his staff, so I kind of want to see if we can get that added into here somehow. Then on these coats, they've got a bit of a dip down from where they are. So in the context of this, I should probably actually be doing it like this, shouldn't I? And then similar idea as before, where there's a thin golder line kind of cresting on top of our blue area. Yeah. And same idea here. White sleeve into a gold trim. Here. And then Solace gets to have fun because he just has bags for sleeves for some reason. I'm not sure if he's carrying all the flaming salads in there, but they do at least seem to be approved for air travel. So I do at least commend Solace on that because this is a fairly handy feature to have within your coat. There we go. And then we've got to worry about... Am I reading that right, actually? Oh, okay, that's an inner sleeve. Okay, that makes a bit more sense then. A little more. There we go. This comes down a little more. And now that we know that this is just a secondary sleeve in general, which does follow the same actual point tactics too, which I'm not sure why you've done this, Solace. As that part at least seems slightly inefficient, but I guess this isn't just a regular long sleeve shirt that you're wearing underneath your already excessively heavy jacket. Then this. Now I can make that a bit of a smoother transition. There we go. Man, no wonder you're on fire all the time. Your clothing just has you perpetually steaming. Actually, hand needs to be a little bit rounder. Need to be a little bit careful. It's not about practicality, it's about sending a message. And the message that he's trying to send is that he's just hot then? Because I don't see what other message this is going to get you if you're wearing this in the middle of summer. Good. And we get rid of this bit. And then a little more. Here. Probably should get this to come down too. There we go. That. Pencil. Then you come down. There we go. Not too shabby so far. Guess next, since we're on this side. Also, Solace, your coat is going to be fairly long just because I imagine while you're sitting, that bottom half gets in really weird positions. Okay. CSP does not like having my files open this large, apparently. I'll have to remember that in the future. There. And then this part is going to have to come up like that. Okay. actually getting relatively far and everything so far, and I'm kind of glad that we are. Efficiency when it comes down to stuff like this is always going to be frustrating. There we go. And rectangle, get rid of the round. Do. Line that up a little bit better with our orb there. Those lines are also not quite as thick, I'm realizing. God damn it, rectangle tool, you're lying to me. That's why it's lying to me. Means we should also probably get rid of that. Oh, shit. Wrong layer. There. And I think right there. Looking good. The drawing's also cute, I guess. I'm not sure if I necessarily want to aim for super cute while I'm doing the dolls, but I guess it's going to be kind of an inevitable factor of these. So I guess I'll just kind of have to live with that. See here, circle. And here. Move that onto our base, which will be there. Okay. Mm. Merge. Okay. There's the beginning of your staff so far, Solace. I'll have to do a wee bit of tweaking, but that's fine. Which I think there is going to be our cutoff. And actually, now that I'm looking at it at least, I kind of need to make just another sphere for the orb too. Here. I probably should have kept the rest of the rectangle. So we're going to have to eyeball that a little bit. Actually. Dude. Control Z tends to be your friend anyway, so I should probably use it to my advantage for now. Just so that way it lines up with everything else. Like so. And then expand. Oh, this one. Okay. And then this can all go away for now. Cool. Then when I actually get to the rest of it, I'll add all the detailing and such to that. But I at least wanted to get the form factor in there while we finish off the body's lines a bit. And now these can be put into a layer. Just that way I know where it is. Then let's see here. What else do we need to line for right now? Well, we need the gold portion of the bottom of the coat. So let's get that going. And it doesn't show on the inside track, which is interesting. Kind of figured it would. But does make my life a little bit easier, so I don't mind. Also just... God damn it, I lied to myself. I was on 6-point draw font for most of this already. I think. Shoot. No, I was on 8-point. Okay. My eyes are just playing tricks on me is all, I suppose. Shoot. There we go. Then I'm noticing a seam that kind of goes on your coat. I'm just going to do on this layer just to make life a little bit easier on me. Which, from my perspective, is going to be right here. Okay. There, there, there. And then the gold trim just needs to be put onto here, which, when thinking of the angle that we need, will become that. Better. I don't know why, but this is mildly bugging me now, so you are also going to be changed ever so slightly. Then you get to come back in here. Look at you go, shirt. You're actually advancing farther than my sketch did. Alright. I guess now the main thing is just doing legs. Because those are going to take up a good chunk of the body. And I'll have to do the lines on my boots a little better, I think. I did a really basic sketch of them. Let's see here. We'll start about here. We don't need that much coverage. Wrong. Very wrong thing. Okay, that makes sense. Make sure to pay attention to your tools, by the way, everybody. Don't necessarily want to flub up something just because you're using the completely wrong brush and just not paying attention. Here. And then part 1 to Solace's little booties. I'm gonna start it here. Hmm. And a little bit of added trim to the booties because he is also an adventurer at heart. I've learned the hard way with coloring pencils. I've accidentally grabbed the wrong ones before. I have a feeling that that's a fairly common problem overall, Holger, so I'm not gonna fault you too much. Because I kind of want to see what someone with like severe color blindness has to deal with on a daily basis while they're working on art stuff. Because I can't imagine it being super easy. Rid of that line, please and thank you. There. Good thing they actually erase enough to be able to make corrections. That is a fairly common like of some coloring pencils, yeah. Did you have to pay a good arm and a leg for those, or did you have to... Please? You know, Spotify, you can listen to me. Or it can't. That's a good sign. I think I may have accidentally broke my Spotify. You've been a bit of a problem, child, lately, haven't you, anyways? Oot. Couldn't find that playlist. My ass, you couldn't find that playlist. Spotify, you can't tell me that you broke now. Yeah, the Spotify application's not responding. No kidding. Spotify doesn't even take up that much room. Why are you causing such a nuisance? Oot. Probably have to reset up the spot. Yeah. Well, currently I'm using Crayolas to get base tones. They erase pretty easily. Okay, that's a fairly good start then if those erase pretty easily. And then the Prismacolors are a little more difficult. Okay. Yeah, that's honestly fair, Holger. When it comes down to Prismacolors, I expect those to be relatively high quality. So when they go down, they tend to stay down. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I also drew these boots on a little bit weird, so I'm gonna fix that. um, how do I want to do this? Probably like this. Come on, Spotify, you can do it. I trust in you. Or CSP, rather. There. There. There is a little rim that's supposed to go under this as well. How would I want to include that? Oops. Then we'll clean this up. Then you will come down and connect to here. And then we'll get that little trim line in. A little bit up. There we go. And then we have back half of the booty here. There. Then funny thing, my set of 12 cost me about 20 bucks. Really? Okay, that's definitely a little bit cheaper than what I was expecting. Did you have to get those on sale or something? Recently I bought a 24 set and it cost me 8. The packaging was basically the same as the Crayolas. Well, I suppose you can't hope for the worst when you're dealing with colored pencils and markers and such, so as long as you got them for a decent deal, that is kind of what matters the most. And these are going to have to connect up to about here. There we go. Then you, good sir. Come on, eyes, you can do this. There we go. Welcome in, Bet. Hopefully you slept well, buddy. We're just working on a doll at the moment. But how are things on your side so far? Yeah. Let's see, those oh, I think 12 for almost 20 bucks is not bad. I must say you've lost it. Those mofos sold me the metal case. It was just aluminum. Capitalism is a problem at the end of the day. Someone's gonna have to deal with that soon. Just getting off work. Hope your day is well. I'd say it's going relatively well so far. Thought I was gonna have a bit of a stomach bug before stream, but I think we're holding it relatively well. We're also kind of just working on a doll at the moment, so nothing super major or anything is going on. But did work end up going well for you, or did you have to worry about a bunch of jerks taking up your day? Although considering you work later, well, no, even though you're working later, that doesn't necessarily stop jerkitude from happening. It was decent, just busy. Yeah, that sounds about right. We are kind of on Saturday. That's just begging for random people to come out and be like, hey, I would like to buy some things, please and thank you. And here, very little time to play my games. That's a bit unfortunate. When you're at work, you're usually playing Fire Emblem, right? And I'm not sure how you can actually get away with playing Fire Emblem. That game actually takes concentration. But I guess that just means you'll have to work on your dailies a little bit tonight then, instead of worrying about them during your working hours. Yeah. Lots of Fire Emblems. Doing some Arknights today. Got to level 40 today. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, advancing in level is always just incredibly helpful for the free sanity refill, which, considering the time, warning to Solace, if you're listening, Arknights check, make sure you're spending your sanity. Considering we're in a CC event right now, it's not the most obvious thing to do right now. OMG though. Oh, what happened? The new events is another one I can't do. Yeah, this one I'm not gonna fault a bit. The CC events are usually the high tier level of play stuff, and this is just to allow those who like to play it a more consistent time frame to do so, just because the currency you get from there is the easiest to grab, unfortunately. It's still technically possible for players who don't have like the most efficient builds to do it, but it is a lot harder. Like every guide I'm finding says to use thorns. Yeah, thorns is kind of just like an easy answer button when it comes to CC, which I can't really deny he usually is, because he kind of just hits stuff, makes them drink liquor, and then they just die of alcohol poisoning. There we go. Yeah, this one specifically, but you don't even have to worry about it, to be honest with you. Like, this event is usually, this is something that at least happens fairly consistently. So, as a word of warning from someone who has at least been playing a wee bit longer, don't worry about it. If you can't do it, then don't worry about it. This gives you an additional currency, which is at least helpful, but it's not required for anything other than like costumes or mats that you can get other ways anyways. I'm still sad about missing the last one. That skin looked nice. Yeah, admittedly, the Roberta skin probably would have been a good one to go after. I honestly just forgot about it, so I didn't even bother getting it. That was a bit of a whoops on my side, unfortunately. There. There we go. I'm gonna need one of those for my professors, minus the death part, just heavy sleep. Hey, I mean, sometimes it's good to get your teachers to sleep properly, because God forbid the school never really lets them do that normally. Because what is sleep? A teacher's not allowed to sleep. That foot looks way too fucking big. Or just lopsided. I think it's that outside line. That outside line really does not work. Also making it look chunkier than it actually is. What's an easy way of getting rid of that without just destroying all my other lines? Yeah. There we go. Me in a few years after grinding to fix my sleep. Oh, don't worry, Holger. Don't worry. It's gonna happen one way or another. It just kind of depends on what stage of your life you're at when you realize that your sleep schedule is just completely borked. Let's do that. Yeah. Gotta make some art bucks on the side one day and see what happens. I mean, making some art bucks on the side does at least usually seem at least to be gratifying. I know that opening commissions can be a bit of an issue for some folks because pricing your own stuff the first time around is always incredibly fucking awkward. Which, as you'll realize, is why I don't have commissions open for these dolls at all. Because I don't know what the fuck to price these at. Do I bill for estimated labor cost? Do I just estimate what I want to price my stuff at and kind of lowball myself just to get more people in? Like, trying to start a business off of art alone is painful, to say the least, because it tends to open up a lot of questions as to what you can do with your work. I don't know, that just bothers me with how big it is. 50 bucks for a drawn doll? I mean, 50 bucks is a good amount. Although that would functionally be pricing it at, let's see here. Minimum wage in Ontario, I think, is like $16 or so. Oh, there's the neck crack. I'm trying to do that for a while. I think that would only be about like 3 or 4 hours at most, which technically is lowballing it. Yeah. I'm trying to pull for Mudrock at the moment. Mudrock is definitely a good one to go for a bit, so hopefully you're able to get your hands on her. God, this entire shoe just looks like dog shit. Hold on, resetting. I'll fix the sleeve in a bit. Narrative view. Actually, if I can help you out a little bit, just so that way you're not like burning all of your currency, go into the shop real quick and then check the, let's see here. I remember my menuing, 'cause it's been a hot minute. Arknights. And, oh shit, my sanity's actually full. There's me paying proper attention to my grouping. Okay, so yeah, go into the store and then click on the certificate tab, and then go into the distinctions menu. See if you actually have enough to just kind of grab Mudrock right now instead of worrying about pulling for her. You don't? What happens if you click token exchange on the bottom left corner? Does that give you enough? You have been doing that? Okay. It's worth checking just because you only have two? I guess you're a new player, so you would only be getting stuff from new draws, wouldn't you? I guess a new-ish player. Oh, fudge. Was worth a shot. Because it's definitely a lot easier to just get Mudrock that way instead of worrying about pulling on her. I don't know. The standard banners just make me question how the rates are sometimes. Nope, that's not even. Fuck. I didn't want that part. There we go. That, select. Let's see, I haven't gotten too many of those. I got Executor and Shamar from the banners. Shamar. That name doesn't ring a bell. And I can't really untypo it to figure out who it is. And I feel like pricing depends on notoriety of the artist in combination with their own estimation of skills, as well as the objective and quantifiable experience and techniques they provide. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. There's a lot you kind of need to go over when you are worrying about pricing your art, which kind of just comes down to, oops, the level of research that you're actually putting into your pricing and just what you can actually do about art. It just does not work with how I drew that shoe. There we go. And then Shamar looks like a pink-haired fox girl with a pup she's holding. I can't. Oh no, I can't get to my operators there. Oh, her. Wow, I have not used her for like anything. Fuck is she? Oh, she's a hexer. Okay. You can go back on the phone charger, and now that I see that my sanity is full, I should probably get rid of some of that. Doot, doot. I realistically should just show this on stream, but I don't think my BlueStacks is up to date. So I don't really want to spend some time updating that because it would probably take a hot minute. That's probably about as good as we're gonna get. Yeah, that's actually good. I just gotta clean up here. There, there. Then you can also be cut in a little. Ow. Me after seeing a not so detailed but highly stylized and concrete character bust being sold for over $100. Yeah, when it does come down to just artists in general, there are some who well, not willingly, willingly is not the right word. There are some folks who can realistically charge that much for their work. It does kind of suck when you just can't afford that, because there are at points that I'd like to be like, I kind of wish it was cheaper, but that's only for me. Let's just do that. Boy, I broke that leg. Redo this section. It's a bit better. Then also Curse's best girl. Bruce is definitely a good character. I'll admit I haven't been reading her story super closely, but overall she does seem like she's a fairly good asset to the team. Have you been enjoying using her so far, Bit? Because she's a relatively standard sniper you'd kind of want to use anyways, at least in the earlier stages, because she tends to be pretty useful. Okay, you have been. Good. Too big. There we go. Her value is amazing. I have her in the unbearables. She's a rabbit, but yeah, it's fine to have her in the unbearables. Do you wonder how much a piece drawn in my style would cost? Hmm. Not sure, Holger. That would probably be something you'd have to venture on your own, unfortunately. I am a business-minded individual, but I'm not an art business-minded individual just yet. Let's see here. When I do IS2, I always start with Cruz, and traditional commissions are usually much more expensive. That is very true, unfortunately. Bee Hunter, Zima, Pajemka, and Cruz are your faves so far. Now Bee Hunter. Bee Hunter's a brawler. Okay. I know that I at least have some fun with the brawlers just because I end up using Indra and Mountain a good bit. But I know that's not everybody's tastes when it comes down to the guards they want to use. Although Indra is just fun because she's punching people with the power of cursed energy, so that's just interesting for her. And Mountain just doesn't die very easily. There we go. I'm trying to promote Bee Hunter again. I want her to be my first E2. Should be fun then. I know that's definitely not a bad idea to E2 your 4 stars, but there are definitely ups and downs to doing so. I should stop chewing on my pen while I'm streaming. You can't exactly hear me while I'm talking, unfortunately. Doot. There we go. You do like her ability, though? Do you? I can't say I've really used Bee Hunter too much myself, so I don't 100% know off the top what she does. Oops. But being a brawler, they usually have some weird gimmick to them. Considering they just kind of punch people, they need a little bit extra to, aside from being just fast. Actually. This baby metal? No, this is Poppy. Okay. Wasn't really expecting the Japanese in there. There we go. Passively dodge 40% of Fizz. Okay, she's one of the dodgers then. Gotcha. And what makes me sad is that if I sell a drawing I make, I'd like the person who's buying to actually have it, not just a picture. I've seen traditional commissions being done that are just the photo, but that would definitely be more expensive for everyone involved. To some extent, yeah. Just because I believe you don't live in North America. So trying to ship out a traditional drawing outside of the home country is probably not the easiest thing in the world to justify. Let's see. Yeah, when you fold it up to mail it in an envelope, probably tank its value. Yeah, either tanking its value by folding it up, or you have to ship it in a really weird container that has a high risk of just being damaged on the way anyways. Gotta love art life. It's trying to make you hate your own job. Now you can go up a bit more. And then you, I forgot to fix. There we go. Let's see. And her E2 talent is each consecutive attack of the same target. She also increases attack by 3% to 5. So she can get an additional 15% attack as long as she's on the field for a fairly long time. That's not too bad. Attack stackers are always just kind of fun to use at the end of the day. Also, this shouldn't be that connected to the foot. This would be more like... There we go. I live in Puerto Rico, which counts as US because we're a territory. Really? I did not think Puerto Rico actually counted, but this is me being excessively bad at geography. I'd frame my artwork, that's for damn sure. And then, yeah, you would basically just be adding frame to the cost as well as your artwork. That's possible, but definitely a little bit harder. Let's see. The hard part is specializing for her do I do it for her dodge and go up to 45%, or do I do it for the significant attack interval reduction for 10 seconds? Do you mean the modules bit? Or do you mean like the skill that she's using all the time? Hmm. That actually came along a lot quicker than I thought I would do. Are we missing anything other than the staff right now? Um, no, I think we're kind of just missing the staff so far. Okay, that actually went through a lot quicker than I figured we'd get through it. Huh. Also, if anyone has any suggestions on how I can get Solace's blue nail polish onto a stub, I'm more than likely to listen to ideas. Let's see, her skills to dodge, passive, or attack speed buff. Hmm. Well, my point of advice bit, at the very least, when it comes to skill sets like that, is that if you're trying to set maps up for an automatic clear, so maps that you're going to have to do hundreds of times over to get materials and such, you probably don't want to rely on a dodge passive just because there is the possibility that they can, die quicker in an auto if they don't get their dodge happens or happenstances going. So the attack speed buff is at least more consistent, which is at least the benefit with that. All right, I guess then we'll work on the staff. So, hi buddy, you can be seen again. Now, how do we want to do this? So what's that layer for? Oh, for the seam, right, okay. True, I had one time Bee Hunter seem to dodge like every attack at her, and then the next time in the auto she dies right away. Yeah, pretty much. That's why physical dodge is at least helpful, but only in the case of like Solace, you might have to correct me on this, but Wild Hunt or whatever her name is, because she has like guaranteed physical dodges after X a number of attacks, which is at least consistent enough to deal with. Oh, fuck. I hit the Canadian keyboard settings. Don't do that. Like, it's one of the Kazimierz squirrel people that like joined in during Ashlock's era, I think. And it was during the Neural Alter event that she was at least like featured. Flametail, that's it. Why the oh, the Wild Hunt one that I'm thinking of, the other um I want to say guard. She was the welfare unit during that event. Okay. It has been a hot minute. Wildmane, that's it. I'm good at naming, I swears it. See here, Boxcun. Make you a little bit rounded. Whoops. No, actually, that's still a good size. I just gotta get the angle right. There. Get rid of the intersection of the pipe. Okay. And then on here, we get to have some fun doing some custom stuff. Now, the real question is, how much of this do we want kind of going over top of the orb? There. Get rid of that. Needs to do this. And here. Also, I'm going to be claiming the rights to redesigning your staff just a smidge, Solace, if only because this is going to be portions of a toy, and I do like the design of the claws kind of holding up your staff, but they would be much too small if I was actually drawing them in the size that I need for this. So I'm gonna blow them up a wee bit. Then this part needs to be a wee bit more. Better. There we go. I'm also realizing that I tried and leave like a fairly comfy spot available, but you wouldn't guess that by the music I end up listening to when I'm working on stuff. Hmm. Ah, there we go. Let me get rid of some of the orb. And we need to zoom out a wee bit. Then we work here. And here. And now you are also a little bit off consistency-wise. So I'm going to fix you. Orb. Okay. I kind of want to do this. Here. I don't know. The arms on your staff give me chandelier-esque vibes. So it's a little bit weird to me if they just kind of cut off. It's not too bad. I am missing bits though. 1 second. Here, here. I'm a bit off. Okay. Don't need Tanuki nuts on there. Now, how does that work conceptually? So that will be holding on to the orb. But that's more so a cup going up? I've been reading this super wrong. Hold on. How do the logistics on that work? So you've got a tripod of claws coming up on the bottom of the orb. And then you've just got the main shaft heading into that clawed section. But then what traits hell are these? Because they would be connected to these. But they'd be separate from the claw base? Hmm. Far back I can go in here. Let's see here. Gonna have to think of the math on this one. So, we've got, let's just try and freehand sketch this to see if I'm understanding the math here. We've got an orb. And then we've got 3 claws coming up on the bottom. And then you've got a back support on there? Or is that supposed to be also a triplicate where there are 3 coming in between the rest of them? Hmm. This one may need a bit of a personal touch. Or actually, realistically. Also, I didn't forget about this part, the fact that you're basically controlling your staff with a magnet. I'm just saying that it's sheathed for right now, so this section would basically just have the hilt built into it as well. Otherwise, that would make it a little bit too long for what we're doing. I guess then we're basically dealing more with a front-facing bit. So we would have our orb doing its best to be a ball and trying to stick to what it's doing. Then from a forward-facing perspective, you've got claws holding it in 3 places. And then there is back support for the staff to have the frontal core swing on down into your little compass orb. Okay, yeah, that makes a bit more sense. All right, gotta go now. It was great hanging out today. Good luck with the Solus Fumo Pop. Well, thanks for dropping by, Holger. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your night, and we'll talk with you later, bud. Can I delete layers from here? Cool. All right, let's see here. So if we're gonna do this right, the compass is gonna have to be part of the forward-facing position. Then we're gonna have to... Okay, that is on there. There we go. We will need this part. Actually, not specifically there. We would first start with the initial white half of the staff. So just get, whoops. You're too big, kiddo. I need you to stop. We get our first bit of the staff here, roughly. Too far. And then we just get another little bulbous section right here. With a small golden section capping this off. And then this part's supposed to come out a wee bit to allow for the central part of the staff. God, this looks super uneven. Um, I think it's probably best if we do... This is the layer I've got that on? Oops. There. Lower opacity. Yeah. Press again. So we start with a plumed area here, as you do while you're working in the wizarding world. We need to get rid of this a little bit. there. Now I'm just thinking of a burger with the juiciest patty, but then the thinnest buns in existence. And I'm not sure how exactly someone would want to end up eating this as a burger, but I'm not going to fault it too much. I know there are people who tend to care more about the meat than the buns. Oof, that's super off, Jude. Okay, we got a cone going. This will end up having a little gold band right around here, if I'm guessing the thickness of the claw right for what we're gonna do. And you want a burger now, Bit? I guess the real question is, what's stopping you? Why can't you get a nice, succulent, juicy bit of meat to cap off your evening with? Especially after a nice hard days of work. I mean, it's late, yeah. So, there we go. Everything's closed in my town. F. Oh, you always gotta hate when that happens. Oh, I just realized I drew that super off center anyways. I even had the lines and everything. Okay, better. I live in a farming town, so most things are closed to 6 to 8. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bit. I know the pain. I'm not exactly in a farming town, but I do know that most people here don't like being awake, so they tend to not have much open here past like 8 to 10 o'clock here, roughly. No. Okay, and then executive decision. There will be a giant blue claw covering the back of this. This is meant to be a bit more of a geometric arm, so we do this in this house. Oh, then here. I think I'm giving it headphones, and I feel like I made that too big. I'm gonna blame that. Woo, though, I beat the mission to get the 2 chips. Nice. Oh, this actually is going to be fairly helpful for you then, but the CC events at least do grant one thing, because there are people who don't necessarily like running CC very much. And in response to that, what they do is just open up everything, which is incredibly helpful because I care a lot about getting the farming chip maps going at some goddamn point. So you'll have plenty of time for that. Probably like 2 weeks or so of just free time to farm those. Doot, doot, doot. There we go. I'm trying to beat the 6 missions for the EXP stuff. Oh, I wouldn't recommend wasting your time on the EXP cards for right now, but the EXP card map is always open, so you're always going to have time for that one. Right now would be a good time to like get your autos going on every other map, just so that way you can guarantee in the future if you do need to get someone going, then you can actually just like get it going. Yeah, but I'm always low on EXP cards. Yeah, don't worry, that's going to be a constant. You're going to be always low on EXP cards, you're always going to be low on LMD, and there is next to nothing you can do about that. That's just one of the flaws with not Genshin, with Arknight's system, is that you're always going to be wanting those things. There we go. Like, just spent them all on rope. Well, I mean, you could probably get a better deal at Home Depot, but that's just me. But yeah, that's just going to be an understandable point all the way through. EXP cards and LMD are just a constant currency that you're always going to have to grab. That's not going to be something that you're going to be easily grabbing. Ooch. Come on. I get over 600,000, so I've been pretty good for a bit. When you start getting into your E2ing stuff, that will change. You need so much fucking money once you start E2ing things. And I need one more layer for this, so I can do the claw. Oh. Alright, Nick. There we go. Really does not want to pop for me. Okay, I do deserve that anyways, but I'd like it for it to pop easier. Alright, so let's see here. If we've got a frontal mountage for this, then my estimation for this is that this line will basically be straight up, no matter what I do. And then the claw itself looks like the pine cone because it's actually just coming up to here. And then capping off so that way you can get to the claw. I don't like how I did that side better, to be honest. So let's just try and do that to this side. You. Here. Get rid of that. This is also uneven. Because this part doesn't come out enough. And there. Get rid of that. That's all right. The orb will have some of that erased, just so that way that can fit in. And then we just need the rest of the claw to get in here. Which will have pretty much the same energy as before. You just got to get it up here. Then all of that stuff should be on this layer. Nope. There it is. Oh, it's on the same layer as this. Good job, Jude. Made your life infinitely harder. Here. And I guess just to check, but are you going to need to go to sleep soon as well, Solace? Or are you able to just kind of stay up since it's Saturday for once? Here. Here. Then we just gotta mirror it over here. I'm just gonna get rid of these in advance. And here. That doesn't look right. That looks a bit better. Oof. Okay, I drew that one up a lot higher, but that's probably the better one. That's why you two look so off. You're good for now? Well, if you're good for now, then I won't worry too much. But we want to make sure that you're not hurting yourself. Because with that slight stint of your heater being down, I don't really want to risk the fact that you may have gone a little bit cabin crazy during that. Why does this just look small still? It'll be covered up anyway, so that's fine. Ouch. We should curve that in a bit quicker. Or a bit slower. And then you can go up. Actually, no, you don't go up yet. You come up first. Here. good thing these two are going to be the same color, is all I'm going to say. What did I do here? We did this. Like that part. View. That's probably about as good as I can get it. Without spending too much time on just the staff. Cute. Those are off center though, aren't they? I really just cannot think straight, can I? Okay. Couple fixes. You come down more because I'm liking where your energy's sitting. You rid of that. Too much. There. And then I would like to fix you because you're a bit too anemic for my liking. And I would like to fix that. Ooh. That's a bit better. Okay, next is going to be dealing with Compass Kun. What's the best way of dealing with Compass Kun? Do hmm. Does this have anything on it? Oh, it's the sketch. Yeah, we can get rid of that. I'm happy with that. Actually, thinking on it, I don't even have to draw a line myself. Because if I want to just keep it to our straight lines so far, duplicate, you can be 100%, you can go away. Then we can use you. So that. Duplicate. My eyes are glitching out a little bit. 1 second. There. Merge with layer below. Duplicate that. Oh, I'm actually thinking about this the wrong way as well. That's a good sign. Do that. Okay. There we go. Now I just gotta get that star in there. It's the best way of doing that. So okay. Alright. Duplicate. Hmm. Oh, right. Merge. What? Okay, that's better. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. That's that layer. Here are our line layers. So and to There we go. And then we just need one inner circle in there as well. Oops. Okay. Probably should have kept the circle for this part, but that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, of course there's something over there. Oops. Rain, please. Thank you. Also, Solace was mildly curious about something with your staff, but what was the efficiency discussion on why it's separated by magic to extend it? If someone hits you with the equivalency of an EMP, that seems like it'll be extremely inconvenient. Because then all you're going to do is have this really short stick to actually deal with. And then this is just going to fall off, and you won't have any good way of using it as a grip as a club. So just kind of an idle question for right now, because I was mildly curious. Okay. A little bigger. I mean, you can use magic to supplement physical phenomenon. You need an oven, you can burn fuel or train a fire turtle to sit in one spot. Yeah, yeah, I guess true. They produce the same effect, just using different methods of manipulating the universe to do it. Hmm. Okay, I guess I can't fault that logic then. I was mostly just curious because it does seem like a slight oversight, but I guess there's a relatively good way of just kind of fixing that, so no harm, no foul. True. Also, I will be right back. I just gotta check something. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Thought someone was knocking on the cabin door. And if you've seen the Nanaho series, they sort of explain magic as lost tech. I don't want to outright say that it's the case here, but it's at least one of the cases. Okay. Well, I'll have to definitely take a look at the Nanaho series then, just so I can get a slightly better vantage point on what you mean. Oops. But I do know to some extent that One Piece is also kind of starting to tangent into that ideal as well. But it's definitely not the originator of the idea, so I can definitely see where you'd be coming from. Okay. And that should be good. Okay. And then we just gotta fix this section, which will be a bit of, right, bit of erasing here and here. This is in Japanese. This is baby metal. Okay. Here. There we go. I will say, though, with that idea, I am kind of just half imagining Solace carrying around a couple electromagnets just in case that someone tries and screws with the one way that he has his staff. Just kind of like extended slash levitating from its secondary half. There we go. Actually, the full wand, and I think the only real mistake is that I've made the compass section too big. But I'm just going to hand wave that a little bit because this is a toy. And we don't want to have too many chokeable parts on it. Let's see here. That's fine. We'll get rid of the transparency layer. We'll add back our body layers. And then we can get rid of that. Merge this together. And get rid of the body. Or get rid of the staff that's connected to the body. Which will be there. Okay. Good. And then, oops, wrong section. Okay. That's not too bad. At least in terms of just getting base lining and stuff done, at least. Let's see here. You are very much blue, white, and gold is your color scheme, right? And yes, your eyes are even that. You go down here, bud. All right, let's see here. How much of the flats can we get done before we lose our minds just a little bit? So I'm going to veto that your eye color is going to be the same as the blue sleeve portions. Because they look supremely damn close to me in that department. And then this section of the vest is also that color, and these bottom half's... Whoops. I forgot to finish a line. Let's fix that real quick before we get into all the flats. There. Okay, so eyes, shoulders, cuffs of the jacket's shoulders. Sleeves on here, I believe, are also the same blue. Oh. Damn, this is like triple layered shoulders, Solace. You're severely well protected from the cold. Shoot. Here. Okay. Any other details I'm missing before I do this again? Name, boots, jacket. We already vetoed the collar. Okay. Third time's the charm. This. Shit, that's gonna do everything on the outside. I will just do that manually. Here. There. And then the ascot. Okay. That should be fine. Here. Ah, fuck nugget. Here. Okay. There. And then that section of the shirt was also this color. Gotta pay attention to what you're doing, Jude. Okay. Then this section is this color as well. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're good there. There we go. Mm. Now, how do I want to do all this gold trimming and the tassels? I guess it's not really gold, is it? It's either gold or brass. Either way, a lot of it's going to have to be this color, so let's see what we can do. Go with the darkest part of it for now. We're also getting a lot of the super high screamy songs tonight. I'm not sure how I feel about that. There. And then you. Thought I had missed something. This section. Oops, shit. Right, I tapered that in when this color's supposed to be separate anyways. Okay, let's fix that real quick. Okay. This. And then you. Okay. That should be everything? Oh, I missed you. That's rude of me. There. Also, do hope that everyone's having a good night so far. Apologies if I'm not talking the most during the art streams, but I do find that it tends to be a little bit easier treating the art streams as more reactionary than it would be just hucking out topics at people all the time. It probably is something that I should change realistically, just so that way there's a bit more audio going. But I do listen to a lot of lyric music during this, so I guess if I'm going to check out more topics, I'll probably find a more muted radio, for lack of better phrasing. Um, that should be all of it. You can make the brush fairly large. um, nope, I missed the shoulder. God damn it, Jude. Here, expand 2. Okay. Come on, brain. You can do it. I know we've been going for 3 hours now, but you can just figure out how to click the right areas on your map. Select, expand 2. There we go. That's a bit better. Alright, main other things would be the old cyan bits and the white bits. And the boots. Just gonna do this part first because this is just gonna be its own color anyways. Oops. Oh, yeah, I still missed some of the gold bits. Okay, I'll just go back and fix those in a second. There, there. There. And these parts of the shirt are this white, and so is the lab coat. Oh. Oh, wait, no. Wrong end. Here, small brush. Mm. Oops. Okay. Now we need to do some of the cyan bits. Hey there, Mitchie. Welcome in. Hopefully the evening's treating you alright so far. We're just working on one of the dolls that I've needed. Well, needed. I'm not really getting commissioned for this, but one of the dolls that I've wanted to get done for a bud since their birthday is celebrated more often than it should be, and it's a good reminder that I kind of just need to get this done. But how are things on your side so far? Have you been able to relax a little bit today? Here, this. And I think that's everything. There we go. I had work, but I'm free for the next few days. Lovely. It's always nice to actually get a few extra days off. Here, not too much of the cyan on here, just because your hair takes up the most of it. Now, that looks cute. Well, thank you. I think we're doing a relatively good job trying to translate Solace's design into kind of a chibi format. Yeah, I'd say it's coming out relatively well so far. I'm still trying to get down the exact style I want to do for these things, but still not 100% certain on that yet. But we're just kind of trying things out and experimenting, so we'll eventually nail it down. Let's get the hair out of the way. There's... Oh, whoops. No, not the face. I should cover all of that. There we go. And I know that you kind of work on a few things, Mitchie, but do you have any upcoming projects? Okay, we're good. Let's grab the mid. Damn, that actually varies kind of hard. We'll grab that for now, and then we will brighten and darken as we need. Shouldn't be too bad for that. Let's get the skin in. Mm. Because Solace is a pasty person, like most of us are. I think just when I brighten it and darken it, it'll look a little bit better. Umi made me a new Vroid skin texture, so I'm adding that to all my models. Ooh, very nice. Getting a new skin model definitely helps a good bit. Also, don't mind me, my neck is just a little bit off right now. Getting new Vroid bits does tend to help a good bit. So when you are able to either develop or just get gifted one, that does tend to help a good bit. Do you think it'll take you a while to actually get everything back on? Or do you think it'll be a relatively simple swap over? Here. Alright, feetsies. Here. Goes down to there. Okay. That's good. Go to here, select, expand. Oh, shit. Oh, whoops. Missed an area. You also need to be the dark brown. Oh, shit. There we go. And here, inner boot, inner boot, inner boot. Mm. There. There we go. That should be all the colors for just the main body, at least. Well, this made me realize I have a bit one too many Ayakashi forms. Oh, that's completely understandable, Mitchie. Completely understandable. You do have a lot of outfits, and they do very much make you look cute. But that does become a problem when you need to change something like the skin. So I definitely understand. Hopefully it's not too rough getting back on there. See here. Has a bit of a shine to it, but it's got that kind of purple-ish hue to it. Here. Oh, right. Um, Probably want to put the colors for the staff on a separate layer just to make sure this is a little bit easier to deal with. Ooch. Slightly smaller brush. I'm gonna grab that for now. Ooch. Then we'll have to do a little bit of customizing on that. Then we're gonna need a lot of gold. As Solace as a teacher is rich in this universe. Hey there, Nano. Yeah, we're starting to color in the staff a wee bit, which is definitely not the easiest part of Solace's design, but does at least tend to make things generally more fun. I'm not teaching home ec. Is the gold carved into the thing? Um, Looks like it is at least inlaid into it, yeah. But at least you've got relatively simple portions to it, so it's not super hard to emulate out. So the first thing you do is hope that you can draw a straight line. And then how closely do we want to emulate this? Probably not super hard to. So, I won't worry about the bulbous shape this time. I'm going to assume that as a toy, they probably didn't want to introduce the potential fragility issue that exists within this joint. So I'm just going to leave it as a singular rod for now. Oh, I also didn't draw a straight line. I think it's best to go from about there to here. That looks about right. Go to here. There we go. Salas has described that like it's battery. Like it's a battery. That does make sense, though, when you're thinking about how just magic generally works. Because your staff is kind of just functionally your lifeline when it comes to casting your magics. Oh, also, potential mature warning for most of the music we're listening to. On your side, Mitchie, I don't think it should be a huge problem, but I just like focusing on what I'm drawing, and usually just having something that is either loud or fast tends to help. Let's see here. And we'll just copy that. Put this down here. Merge down. Wonder if Solace is still a god without the staff. I feel like Solace, with the whole card magic thing, is probably still a relatively godlike entity without the staff. Whoops. I need this color. This just definitely just amplifies things a little bit. Good. Oh, that's fine. You do you. Girlfriend like similar? Okay. Sounds good. Just figured I'd give a fair warning. Good. Now. So here. 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 Nope, that still looks bad. Then here. Here. No. Here. Here. There we go. Let's see. The staff comes apart. When together, it boosts spell potency and penetration, and apart, they boost mana recovery, and the handle becomes a Magiblade. Oh, is that what that little bit is then? This little bit here just becomes a magical blade kind of thing? Okay. Well, that's fun. That means you'll get to have fun stabbing people with your staff. There we go. Example number umero done. And I do see the double tap here. I probably should do that, actually. There and here. And then smaller one. There we go. I do the same thing as I think most expect me to be PG-13, because that's what I'm comfortable with. That's understandable, Mitchy. You do tend to keep your area fairly comfy as well, so I figured you would know the best way of conducting in this situation. There we go. So Solace can go magical rogue, something like that. He has support spells, so invisibility is one of them. I'm a healer, but gun. Oh, good old Solace, making sure to bring a gun to a magic fight. Then there. And then we get our... Here. There we go. I'm also realizing I probably should have put these engravings on a separate layer, but that's fine. There. There. And then whoosh. It almost gives me ideas of like the Mercury symbol, which I'm not sure if that's what you and Dewey were going for when designing the engravings on the staff, but does help out your fire powers just a wee bit. At least I think the Mercury symbol is the right one I'm thinking of. The... Actually, no, this is Venus, isn't it? That's either Mercury or Venus. Bone gun, you good? Shoot. Mercury... Alchemic symbol? Oh, I was right. Okay, cool. That is the right one I was thinking of. But yeah, that does give me pretty heavy Mercury vibes, so the thought is definitely there. Oh, this part's easy. Is the 500 brush what we need? 500 is actually too large. That's also a wee bit too large. I will say that my eyes are kind of starting to screw with me a bit. So we will probably end off at the normal time for this one. It's getting a little difficult to see the finer details in this. Okay. My neck's also not liking my shrimp position, I guess. That's fine. Well, at least got the flats done. That's generally what I like doing in a singular stream. And I'm assuming that's in my Discord? Yep. Oh god, the Calcit one is a very good example of why she is just a ridiculous operator. She's a healer, but she can murder more people than most of the other 6 stars can. Do do do. Also, just to explain it for your side, Mitchie, just because I'm not sure if you play Arknights at all, but Calcit is a character who is at least labeled as a healer, and she does heal other characters, but she basically has a demon that she can summon out of her spinal column that lets her just place another unit on the field to murder people. She's a fairly useful unit, but she's mildly selfish in that she only likes healing her little spine demon compared to other people. But she's fun. Let's see here. I remember the Undertides event during her banner. She was more of a middle finger to all of the mechanics in that event, more than the banner character. Yeah. Calcit is usually just kind of a middle finger when it comes to certain events, because monster in and of itself having true damage does just make it be a little bit ridiculous. Let me just see if I can grab full art for Calcit for you, Mitchie, just because she is a very good looking character. Calcit monster art. Image. Oh, no, that was right. Oh, fuck, that's tiny. But yeah, she's just a cat, but she has a spine demon. Fairly helpful unit. She likes healing her monsters more specifically, but she'll heal other people slowly. I wonder if when I actually get done doing Dolls of all my friends, maybe I should swap over to doing Dolls of Arknights characters. That might not actually be that bad of an idea, that I'm thinking on it. Fast redeploy defender that does true damage or AoE, yeah. Monster in and of itself is a very, very good unit on its own. The fact that it just has its own pocket healer is a little bit silly. Here. Now, how do we want to color in the orb for flats? Because we're dealing with a decently large crystal on this one. There. Also, I'd be mildly afraid to ask Solace, but how much does this staff cost? Because this doesn't really seem like something you'd be able to pick up at the Common Wand shop. And this will also be this color. Do, do, do. There and there. Here. Yep. Oh, no, it's not to the level of being one of a kind, but it's a custom made. Being an instructor and working as a researcher has its perks. I guess being a researcher does tend to help out a good bit, yeah. because then you don't have to worry as much about the funding costs as long as you're actually being able to get the grants that you need. Probably do the blue of here first. Keepers of Peace. Here. Keepers of Peace. Here we go. And then I do need to go back and change one ideal that I had back there. At least before my eyes kind of just go out, because I'm getting close. Here. Unfortunately, when you're staring at things like this, it can get a little bit too taxing when your main problem with actually being able to see is a lack of, or not a lack of, but a much harder time actually keeping your eyes focused on one area. That's a bit better. I'm gonna assume that's fine. Then you. All right, now the fun part. What do we do with these balls? Just going to assume these are dragon nails holding the ball up on the back half. I'm sure Solace has the power to destroy or murder a dragon, at least. If not with the potential Yu-Gi-Oh deck that he's got at the time, he can probably just chuck a couple salads in there. There we go. Oh yeah, light's scattered, so I can't tell the difference between white and 50% gray. Yeah, it's always a bit of a problem, isn't it? And then when drawing Solace is twice as fast as drawing his weapon. I mean, when you get down to it, a mage is usually just kind of as important looking as their weapon ends up being. So it's not inherently a bad thing when your weapon is the main focus. Which, actually, that works as the pun, too, to be honest. But, let's see here. Actually, I can just select the orb from here, can't I? Where's my staff lines? Here. Build, select, expand, good. These I am going to put on a separate layer, but you'll see why in a second. We've got a fairly saturated cyany color going for Solace and his good old Staff of Justice. Actually, use that one. Doing good there, Eraser? There we go. small. Oh. Actually, also not what I want. Okay. That works. For now, at least. We'll have to get some additional lighting and such on that when we get there, but just for flats on a crystal ball, that's not too bad. Um, there we go. There's our, oh, fuck nugget. Almost had it all. Always the little sections that I'm missing, isn't it? And how can I see them right now? I can barely see what I'm doing. Here. There. Okay. Have I missed anything? I didn't do the detailing on here. Shoot. Which is here. There's not really as much detailing on the top part, is there? So I can kind of get away with... Almost feels like tying shoelaces on this part. Not sure if that's the intended idea, Solace, but if he needs reminders to tie his shoes, then having his staff there for him is probably the most helpful part. Oh. Okay. Oh. You know what I probably should do? Save. I haven't done that once during this. Solace doll. There we go. We're safe. Could have just lost about 3.5 hours of work there. We're good, though. Let's see here. I think in 15 minutes we're not going to get that much more done because the line recoloring is usually best saved for after I get some shading in. Ooh. Alright, yeah, my eyes don't like that very much. So we'll probably just leave it here for now, and then next week we'll come back to this and start the shading process, which should realistically take us 4 hours to do. And then if we get to the line coloring with that, then won't have to worry too much about being late for Solace's birthday. At least from what I can tell. Ooh. Where would I put my name on this? Probably right there. This can just go on the bottom. It's a good font. Oop. Font's a wee bit big. Hey there, Omega. Welcome in. Yeah, I have been on for about 3.5 hours or so, but welcome in. Hopefully the evening's been going all right for you so far. Make that a bit wider. Let's just put this up here for now. There we go. It's been fun, or at least eventful. No, actually, no, the Soku tourney is going, isn't it? Right. How did that actually end up going? Nice fire-breathing doll. Thank you. I think it's coming out relatively okay, and we haven't even violated any human rights yet, so I'd say we're doing pretty damn well. But we are kind of just finishing up for the night, just because my eyes are kind of going out on me here. Oh, shit, don't do that. But yeah, how was the Soku tourney so far? Have they been doing a good job? Because at least from the stuff we were seeing yesterday, it looked like they were doing just fine. There we go. Now, what is this shade of Tumblr dark mode? Or Twitter dark mode, rather? Do. Matching, make it right. There we go. Save. Or PNG. Solace Twitter. Solace doll. There we go. Didn't see them on. They had some really, really late stuff last night. Free play. I think they were all drunk and it was a mess. Okay. That sounds about right, to be honest with you. They were kind of just screwing around and not having to worry too much about the um rules and regulations of the proper Frosty tournament there. I got Jason to kick my ass in Guilty Gear instead. Is that cat actually on right now? Or did you just kind of pull him in for singles? I am looking for a raid target anyways. Oh yeah, he is on. Let's see here. I'm going to assume that Kin raided Jason. He's not normally that high on the viewer count. Let's see. I did the 1K challenge redeem. Ah, you did the 1v1 fight me, bitch. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. I promised I would do it as soon as number 1, I got my PC working, and 2, it was on. Yes, and Klaus just raided too. Jesus, Jason, you're getting the good raids tonight. Probably should go over there. But that feels weird rating someone with 101 viewers with maybe 5 people. There was no number 3 requirement for me having actually played the game before. I mean, when it comes down to a fighter, at least Omega, you're never required to be able to play the game before. Hey, I did it with 1. I mean, fair. I just feel weird when I'm rating that high up because it feels attention grabby to me. But this is Jason, so we do know him. So it's less attention grabby, and he knows that it comes to bother him anyways. Oh, fuck. Did I hit the Canadian keyboard again? Hold on. I lost my backslash. Give me a second. Jason's wrong. Let's see. I just don't think about it with people I know well. That's fair, in all honesty. I'd be tempted to think about that a little bit more, but I think that's just a fault on my side. Also, the other command you want, Solace, is raid 1. I want to at least imply that there are 2 raid commands by having raid 1, raid 2. But do at least want to thank everyone for stopping by, especially for the art stream, since I know that's something I don't usually do, at least. This is the end of my usual stream week, at the very least, so I'll be back next Wednesday, assuming nothing extremely terrible goes on during work hours, and we'll just be going with our ring-a-ding-ding Elden Ring playthrough. Thursdays will still be Digimon because we've apparently got a fuckload longer in that to go. And then Fridays I still have to figure out, so we'll have to figure out what to do then. But thank you all for joining us in the cabin. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will get to talk with you later. But for now, bye-bye.